numbers in the NFL are 3, 7, 10, and 14.
You know how we do in Detroit, son? We do nothing but win. Ready
I'm ready.
to bite some kneecaps.
New England is bad.
Real bad. Then the highlight.
It's a close game.
The Taylor Heineke life. Yeah.
I love this pick. Tampa has been overrated all season long, and the people who make the books are still on this. They got blown out by Blake Purdy. Can Justin Jefferson be stopped? I don't know. If you watched how Carolina played with Andy Dalton, they were fine.
Well, more importantly, Adam Thielen is probably like, can we put Andy Dalton back in?
The spread's the way to go. You just have to know how to bet. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Math versus Smash. There he is. This guy.
Let's go.
Woo! Welcome to week one. We got some special guests this week. As always, we're brought to you by the Scene Snobs and all of their great shows. Like and subscribe in literally any form of social media you want. You can find the Scene Snobs. We're putting in the hard work everywhere. So, that being said, week one, how we feeling?
I love it, man. I'm so excited for NFL. I made some money on college last weekend, but college, it's weird. Like, betting wise, it never feels quite right. Like, there's too much variety. What's the word I'm looking for? Too much chaos?
Volatility. I mean,
yeah,
you're also talking about in the NFL, right? You're betting spreads of generally under 10. And so you know how to you can think that game out pretty easily in your head. Whereas you're talking about a spread of 56 with Ohio State, you're like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they'll score 56 points.
I don't like.
How do you handicap that?
I made some money, but I'm ready to bet on NFL teams other than futures. So, plus
right
daily.
On.
Welcome back, daily.
All right, so I'll bring this up first. So this is what we got for the spread this week. Got a couple good ones, but as you can see, we're going to start with the big one because I got a 5.5 point difference between the Rams and the Lions, and they only have it at 3.5. I think the Lions are a much better team, and I think we're going to see it right away.
Well, they're really high on a healthy Matt Stafford. What's up, Jason? A healthy Matt Stafford, a healthy Puka Nacua, they're betting on a healthy Rams team. Here's my problem, though. The problem with that team is not the offense. And so to have it at 3.5, I think is a criminal steal to bet the Detroit Lions to cover that spread. I would bet this at a touchdown.
At home too, right? I mean,
yeah, at home, I'm surprised that the line is so short. It's probably just because it's the beginning of the year and Vegas is trying to feel itself out. I did see, though, that if the Lions win the Super Bowl, Vegas will lose hundreds of millions of dollars.
Well,
that makes me feel pretty good.
They are the favorite this year. It's a joke we talked about last year. They were America's team, but this year, I think seriously, the Detroit Lions outside of whatever your home state is, they're going to be the team that most people are rooting for outside of the Midwest.
I'd like to think so. The big thing, though, ladies and gentlemen that are listening, these are two people who have followed this team for 30 years. I would not be surprised if they shit the bed.
They could literally have a losing season. I've seen the Lions have this much hype before. Or do the Mike Martz season where they start out 8-0 and then lose all the rest of the games?
Yeah, that actually happened. And so I don't know, man. I love the prospects for the Lions. We went over it, and I won't rehash that. We went over.
I think it's the base of the team itself is good enough to get to 10 wins. It's one of those situations where real gamblers are putting real money on the Lions because they are such a good base of a team.
Yeah,
and that's really the difference. And I don't think that's existed in our time.
No, then the floor is there. The 10 win, I think. And again, granted, I said I wouldn't be surprised, but the floor is there at 10 wins. This is a
I
team
got them
that,
at 15 wins. My model has them at 15 wins, and they are rated exactly the same as the Kansas City Chiefs, which if you're looking at what anyone's talking about, they are the two teams to beat. Most
Yep.
people are betting Kansas City versus the Lions, and then they're saying
Kansas-
the Chiefs are going to win.
even in futures, Kansas City, Detroit for the Super Bowl outcome is not a great bet.
It's like 10 to 1, 12 to 1.
I think it's 8.
Yeah, that's rough, right? I mean, okay,
Rough.
so
Like for a future, I wouldn't. I mean, I'd put 10 on it, but not like a serious bet. I don't know.
Yeah.
So in this game, the Lions should roll. The Rams have no defense. They don't have an offensive line. I don't know how they're going to keep Stafford upright. Hey, low key though, if you are still doing your drafts, Blake Corum could be a really sneaky pick for this Rams team.
both of the Rams have to be good. They could do. We're talking a lot more about play action this year with Stafford. So think about Stafford throwing more like 25 to 30 passes a game versus 40.
40.
Well, I mean,
yeah, I like the Lions to cover. It's a good bet.
All right. So we're gonna go. We'll go a little out of order here because we have two live reporters in
live reporters.
So the next one we're gonna do here. What do we got? Where are my New York Giants? NYG
football Giants against the lowly Minnesota Vikings.
The line is 2, and I make it 2. I have no edge on the lowly Vikings, and with that, we are going to bring in our third reporter today, the scene snob himself, the leader of the channel, Mr. Mick, a New York Giants fan.
My sports snobs, thank you guys so much for having me on tonight to talk about my former team, the New York Giants, and my new team, the Philadelphia Eagles. No, listen, it's been a tough few years, boys. And listen, I'm a Giants fan. I'm no stranger to rebuilding seasons. We have some great ones, and then we go in a Super Bowl, and then it's rebuild. I was there in the Dan Brown years. I mean, let's be real. So this is dismal. It's tough. It's tough for the Giants. My prediction for this season is they're probably not going to make it. They're not going to, maybe 8 and 9. I'm going to go 8 and 9.
That's
but for
generous.
I got him. I got him at 5 and 12, Nick. I'm sorry. I just do. I don't. It's a tough division. It's a tough NFC. The NFC is not easy anymore.
No, this isn't. We're not talking in. This isn't Peyton Manning, Tom Brady days. Like the NFC is, I think, the better conference now. I think
there's still better quarterbacks in the AFC. The AFC is better on the top end, but top to bottom, the NFC is a more solid division, in my opinion.
Well, to be fair, like, I don't know. Here's the other part, though, that what quarterbacks that are lauded are in the NFC, right?
So your two best quarterbacks in the NFC are 3, right? It's what is it Dak, Goff, and Hurts?
Oh. I don't. That's my thing. So that's.
I mean,
it's hard to look at it through a quarterback lens. You think about the Giants for a second. You know, they paid Danny Dimes, and I don't blame them for paying.
Danny Dimes some dimes.
Yep, they paid him because the season that they paid him, he earned it. Last season was an abomination. I would love to see the Giants be competitive in this division, just because I hate the Cowboys that much. Sorry,
True.
Troy. A competitive Giants team, and it's not like they can't be competitive. Their defense is average. It's all going to hinge on Danny Dimes, and I think that if he can get any production, they'll be a better than expected football team.
My favorite
9 might be a stretch, but
my favorite bet for the Giants this year is Malik Neighbors, Offensive Player of the Year. That dude's going to catch 10 passes a game. It's going to be incredible. He's one of the
8 and 9, and starting this weekend, they're going to overcome the Vikings.
I hope so. We didn't talk about that. So at 2, I don't like the spread. You're betting the money line. I maybe the under. I love the under. It's at 41.
They're both terrible teams, so you can take the Giants and just hope that they win because terrible teams do terrible things.
The difference is, can Sam Darnold
find
Justin Jefferson?
4 interceptions? Like, I
All right,
mean,
well-
Sam Darnold's a bad quarterback. We already know Sam Darnold's a bad quarterback. And there's a bunch of guys in fantasy and like in the talking heads are like Minnesota can still be good because of their coach and their base of their team. And I'm like, no, they can't because Sam Darnold's never been good.
And their
Never
defense.
been good.
I'm
Ever.
gonna pick their 8 out right now.
Okay.
Vikings. Shit.
I got the list. Let me look.
Panthers. No, I have it up. I'm just trying to think. Saints.
I mean, the
Maybe
Saints,
Saints.
but the Saints could also win the
Falcons.
NFC South. The NFC South is yet again a dumpster fire of a division. So
Colts.
Do you think you catch Dallas at home, maybe?
Yeah, fuck Dallas. So 6 and 7. And maybe we can squeeze one out against the Packers. That's my 8.
All right. I'm all good with you beating the Packers.
yeah, I wouldn't mind that too bad.
So we got some other ones to go to. Mick, do you want me to keep you on for now? You want to keep going? Because we're going to go to another.
Well, I would love to look at my sweet D'Angelo face for a second in his 49ers. Let's see what
All right. So spoilers abound. Next, we have San Francisco against the Jets at 4.5. It's a weird
4.5.
spread. And for that, we're bringing on the hardest working man in streaming,
Get the fuck out.
Sir Sturdy.
First of all, we're beating the Jets by at least 10 points.
Oh my God, Sturd! This is a good defense. You better be like.
What
Niners?
play does Aaron Rodgers prefer to?
Who's the Jets quarterback and who's their kryptonite? Who's his kryptonite? That's all
You're
I'm
not
gonna say.
wrong. The Niners are Aaron Rodgers' kryptonite, 100%.
And what did Aaron Rodgers say when he got drafted? I'm gonna make the Niners pay for it. Thanks,
He
Aaron.
still hasn't.
And then
He's
he has
dropped the
what?
ball in the
Squares
playoff.
Achilles
I
to
will
get out of
never
it?
forget one day I was hanging out at Smash's house, and he went out that night with some friends to go watch Green Bay dominate because he was a big Aaron Rodgers fan. And then
Well, that's saying a lot. I wanted Aaron Rodgers to beat the Niners.
Oh
Like-
God.
Let's slow down on that a little bit.
Either way, he
Regular
came home
season,
very,
he has his best
very,
shot.
very disappointed when
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers absolutely crapped the bed.
They had the Niners at home in sub-zero weather and still lost. And I was like, oh my God, what
Yep.
does it take? I'll say this. After and this is a pro Lions cast. You guys know this. After the beginning of the fourth quarter against the Niners, when the Niners caught that pass that tipped, I didn't realize it tipped off the defender's hands.
Yes, that was it.
Into-
That's the thing.
What does it take to kill the San Francisco 49ers?
Kyle
Do you guys
Shanahan
just
called
have
stupid ass
Cthulhu on
plays.
your side or something? Like I don't get
Turn
it.
the lights off during the Super Bowl.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's
An
Kyle
earthquake?
Shanahan, it's Kyle Shanahan with the Niners with a lead with like 10 points, and he's like, you know what, guys, we've been running all over them. Let's pass it.
Hey, listen, I can't leave yet. I have a request.
Yep.
Would another scene snob not yet? Would another scene snob be allowed to give his prediction for the Eagles?
There is no scene snob not allowed on this show.
Well, appreciate it, but I want Sturdy to finish.
Oh no, bring him right on. Bring him right on.
Bring
Bring
him
him
on.
right on.
I
All
want to
right.
hear this.
Come sit over here. Come sit on the thing.
Yeah.
All right. You want to hear his? He's smart. Sit. Sit
Come on
down.
in. What do we got?
What do we
Tom.
got?
I think the Eagles go like 11-6 or 12-5. I could
Ooh.
see them. I could see them anywhere from losing in the divisional to like making the Super Bowl because I feel like they have a really high ceiling, but also their floor is also pretty low.
So we got Philly.
That's a pretty
We
good
got
take,
Philly.
man.
We got Philly at 2. It's 2 right now at Green Bay, so I have it exactly at 2 as well. So the opening week, anything can happen in a foreign territory, right? It's not a home game. It's not a losing game.
Yeah.
I would say I'd lean Philly, but Green Bay getting the points, I would probably take more points just with Green Bay on the money line and
I'm
just
taking the under all
decide who
day.
wins.
We got to take the Lunder, dude. You have to take the Lunder. Come on now.
No, it's not the Lunder. This is in Brazil.
But it doesn't matter.
Ooh.
Like any international.
No,
remember
it
they played
does matter.
Mexico for
You're
like
talking about a
15 points?
1 hour time difference versus a 7 hour time
I don't
difference.
care about the time difference. It's about the sport. They play soccer in that stadium, dude. Like
It's
Nope,
still
I'm
better
taking
than
the
the
under.
Jet Stadium.
Whoa. The
Listen,
Meadowlands
he's
is a
right,
very
because-
particular.
What was it?
Dude, the Meadowlands
years
was
ago.
so bad that people
Whoa. Slow down.
No, he's right.
Jimmy
He's right.
Hoffa's resting place is not going to be knocked in my presence.
The Meadowlands
like-
field is garbage.
I
But-
think
Blew out 2 ACLs on the Niners, maybe
I-
3.
I do like
We're
foreign
fine.
game. I do like foreign game unders just because it's an unusual environment, and I usually think
under,
that
ladies and gentlemen. Where's my Stone Cold lock? That's what I want. There's my Stone Cold
boy.
lock. The under for Packers Eagles.
Oh,
Stone
God,
Cold
he's got
lock
a-
of the century of the week, right there.
he's
Under
got
all
a
day.
Stone
Brazil.
Cold lock of the century.
This is called Aquatine Hunger Force, and this is my Stone Cold Lock of the Century. I'm not allowed to say the name because someone copyrighted it.
Under.
There you go.
There's my Stone Cold lock right there. The under for the Packers Eagles all day. There's no way that game adds up to more than 49 points. I you know what? If I was gonna pick, I'd say Eagles 17, Packers 10. I think
as
that's
far as a future on the Eagles. Let's see here. I got the Eagles.
I had them at 11 wins.
They're at the book has them at 10.5. I got them at 10.7.5 or 10. So I'm right on the same ring.
Yeah.
My only
all
problem
here.
with the Eagles is that the NFC East is never won by the same team twice. And that's
yeah.
It's a tough situation.
Last year.
But I do think the Eagles are the best team by far this year in that division because I think Dallas is trash. The Giants are rebuilding, and
Fred is saying 12-5 and losing the championship. What?
Who?
Patriots?
the
Who?
Patriots.
The reason that we're not going to be 9 in what is it, 7 or whatever, or 8 or whatever, is because we're not playing the Patriots this year.
Oh.
Yeah, the Patriots can't beat the Giants.
Anyway, back to the Niners so we can wrap Sturdy up.
Yes, sir.
I
Thanks,
think I'll
Thanks.
say this.
12 wins for us
The Jets
this year.
the Jets defense is better than the Niners are probably expecting. We
know the defense because we know that coach is, and he knows us. So Kyle's gonna throw some shit at him.
I'm taking the Jets to cover. I don't necessarily think they're going to
4.5.
win, but they're
I want a better
That game will
number.
be decided by a field goal. That game will be decided by a field goal.
Like why am I getting
10 points,
2.5? Why am I getting 2 points on the road? There's no number even in this, man. I mean, I don't know. Or sorry, San Francisco. We changed. Sorry. I was-
Yeah.
Well, listen,
But-
gentlemen, it is San Francisco. I took up too much time and too much energy, and I want to give this beautiful
Good.
caramel bastard some love. So I will let you guys go. Thank you for having me on. Go Lions. Go 49ers. I'm down the middle. Go Bills for you. Just for you, buddy. But I'll talk to you guys very soon. Take care. Bye.
Have a good
Feel
one.
free to pick yourself. And he micked himself. Oh my goodness.
Picked himself.
He did.
Wow.
Any last parting shots at the Niners, Sturdy?
I will say this. I'm not gonna lie. We were talking about this pre-show. The Brandon Ayuk thing, that was just annoying. I wasn't worried. I wasn't nervous. I wouldn't have been mad. I wouldn't have been worried if we traded him or if he held out, as long as we got what he's worth in trade, what I feel he's valued, because I don't want some stupid stuff. And then Trent Williams was my biggest concern, my biggest worry. Honestly, Trent Williams was the deciding factor if I was going to come on this first episode or not. I was like, if he ain't
I mean,
signing,
that's fair.
ain't
I
showing
wouldn't
up.
want to come on either if my starting left tackle was holding out.
No,
Yeah.
because then that
That's gonna be
right there changes the whole season. That changes the
That's
12-win
serious.
season to we're not making the playoffs, not even close, because that blind side is terrible without Trent.
Yeah.
I worry about San Francisco just because it's like, have they had too many shots at the apple? And is there too many players wanting money in situations at this point? It's a little bit of a bad brew. That's my only concern with San Francisco. All
At
the
the same
talent in the world, I just don't know if it all comes together again.
With the contract thing, though, I mean, it's their top players that they're that they're paying. Though it's not like it's
True.
just because what they do for the most part here and there, they will go in free agency and pay a few guys, but for the most part, it's usually guys they drafted that get those fat contracts, which I'm glad they do it like that now, because when the Niners were bad from the early 2000s and all that, all we were doing was like, oh shoot, so and so is a free agent, let's throw the money at him, and then you get 6 wins that year. So yeah,
I mean, it's a well-coached team regardless. Like, I think the
Yeah.
floor is probably 9 or 10 wins just with that amount of talent and that coaching staff, right?
Oh,
As
and
long-
anytime you have
long as we're
McCaffrey,
healthy.
like with McCaffrey and a healthy defense, this is a 10-win team no matter what. And then you have
I
talent.
can't say that. I say because without Brock Purdy, I don't trust our next quarter. I don't trust Josh Dobbs. I don't trust Dobbs. I don't trust the third quarterback.
Dobbs can win 9 games though.
I think
And
Dobbs
under-
could win
under
9
that
games.
Coolidge?
The Niners have won 9 games with who is that? Mullins, Nick Mullins. They won 9 games with Nick Mullins, dude. Like,
But this is different, man. This is different. This is different.
I don't know. He's such a good coach, and I mean Shanahan is part of a long line of great coaches. So
Yeah, but
like,
he needs to get us that ring. Like his decisions in the Super Bowls have been very disappointing. I'm not even talking about the Falcons thing. I don't care about that. But as the Niners, again,
as long as you're playing
both-
against this guy, buddy, that's it. Like, that's.
I mean, the first game against the Chiefs, up in the fourth quarter by 10 with like 5 minutes left, and he decides to throw it with Jimmy Garoppolo
Jimmy G.
running on them all day.
Jimmy
Don't
G
get me
with
wrong.
G Jimmy on him.
For the dink and dunk, Jimmy's great. Throwing downfield, you might as well just have me throw. It's gonna be the same result. It's gonna be incomplete or interception. But yeah, my Niners are gonna win about 12 games this year, and we're beating the Chiefs by 10.
We're gonna sign you out with some chance that you're gonna believe in,
Yep,
Sturdy.
You'll love this one.
They're chanting Purdy, by the way. Brock Purdy chants in Santa Clara.
I feel like I'm in a scene of Rudy.
Blake
Purdy
Purdy.
and sturdy. We're gonna be happy at the end of the season. But
All right,
I had fun
Sturdy,
here with
we're
you
gonna
guys.
let you out there. Thank you
Thanks
for
for having
joining
me.
the show.
Absolutely, buddy.
Obviously, like and subscribe and see all Sturdy stuff. The man covers everything in
What are you guys
horror
watching
that's
on
out
Friday,
there.
Sturd?
Friday we're doing Death Proof, and then tonight in the Discord we're doing the Blackwell Ghost.
Oh, nice.
So but you guys have a great
A
show.
lot of-
These guys know what they're talking about with their sports stuff too, and they're betting. So bet on these guys.
We try.
We do our
Love it.
best. We do our best.
Cheers,
All
buddy.
right. See you
Peace
later,
out.
Sturdy.
All right.
All right. So we've had live look-ins at Philadelphia camp in a Giants house, which I don't know how that works.
I don't know how that one works. Mick's gonna have to
We-
explain that one.
We got the Giants, and we got San Francisco, and we're optimistic on all the above. Also,
Pull up
all
Fred's
NFC
comment.
teams.
Pull up Fred's comment here. Pull up Fred's comment for a second, because I
All right,
like,
hold on.
okay.
To who? Are the Patriots losing in the NIT? Like, what championship are they in?
I appreciate a fandom as somebody who's never missed a Detroit Lions game. I know the feeling, Fred. Not gonna happen this season, man. I'm so sorry.
We can go to New England though, because it's part of what I was looking at. All right, so we have Cincinnati, New England, because this is a game where I have a 1-point difference.
Yeah.
Spread 8. I got it at a touchdown. This is one, like, I only have 4 games with a full lean, right? So I got to fill my roster. So I got to fill out this card somehow. I probably still lean Cincinnati. I just think there is so much like bottom out potential for New England this year. Like, their offensive line's terrible. They're starting Jacoby Brissett, which automatically means they're waving a white flag.
I mean, that's
Even
like,
though they outplayed them in the regular season, or in the preseason. And their defense isn't very good. Like, it's bad.
so this spread's at 8 points.
Yeah,
Man.
let me bring up, now that we got a little bit more room here. Let's
Yeah,
bring this.
it's okay. This spread's at 8 points, and I still take the Bengals to cover. I mean, but here's the thing: is Jamar Chase going to play?
Do you know that's one thing. So that's one thing. The other thing is, if you think Jamar Chase is not going to play, hammer under 41.
Yeah, hammer
Because
the under all day.
the Patriots can't play
come on.
offense. We know that. You're fine. I'll take you off.
And no, it's okay. I just timed out.
The-
That's all.
The Patriots can't play offense. They literally don't have it. Like, there are no offensive players outside Ramondre Stevenson that you would want on a fantasy team. And even he is like he's like a flex back.
Yeah.
So you're sitting in that situation. And then you have Cincinnati, who is a notorious slow starter.
That's the other part. Is it's an opening game for Cincinnati, and I was going to mention that about San Francisco. Is like,
And you know what the
Would it be
wild thing is, though,
game,
is you know who the
like-
most picked team in survivor pools is right now? The Bengals.
people think it's a lock. Oh my God, it won't load.
That's fine. We're good. We know the spreads. It's not a
Yeah.
big deal. So yeah, I mean, from a spread perspective, I lean Cincinnati. I mean, there's so many better games to bet. If you really want to sit and bet Cincinnati versus New England on opening week, like just move on. Like,
Yeah, that's it. I
honestly,
don't know. 8 points, like
bet
it's
bet first half unders because Cincinnati always starts slow.
yep. I like the under. Even with Chase, I like the under. He hasn't practiced.
Yeah.
That 8-point spread, man. I don't know. Like that's a big number even for me. I bet some big.
I mean,
spreads.
I usually don't worry too much. Bad team versus good team, 10 or less. But the problem is we don't know if either team's good or bad because it's week one, right? So
and
you
then
really
we don't know
like,
how healthy is Burrow. Nobody really.
you're going to lay 8 with one of the worst first half teams in the NFL against the Patriots. I'm just going to pass and move on. Like I said, the under is probably.
If anything, just take Cincinnati with the money line.
Yep. All right. So then we can move up to the top here. Let's talk about Thursday, just because it's already 27 minutes and we haven't talked about the first game of the week. The reason
we got through some.
The reason mostly is because it's boring, honestly.
Yeah,
it's lined correctly. I mean, the Chiefs should be a 3-point favorite to anyone at home. I mean, that's just the truth of the matter. Even the Ravens, and the Ravens just can't seem to beat the Chiefs no matter what. They just absolutely fall over themselves whenever they play the Chiefs.
I like the spread because if you think the Chiefs are going to win, there's no point in betting the money line. Like I like the spread.
I don't even know if this game's close. Like that's the thing. Like I could see the Ravens going in and just laying an egg, like in losing by 17, like 35.
I could also see it depends on what the Ravens are doing as far as the horses. Don't forget they're revamped. They have Derrick Henry. And
that's true. They do have they could have a different offense this year, which is
so. But I like the Chiefs to cover just because I think they're going to win, and I don't think this is a field goal game. This is a touchdown game.
See, I think the Chiefs are going to be favored in every game this year, and you're going to have to eat the juice in every game this year. I think the way you beat the Chiefs or you play the Chiefs is you play I think at it's like 15 or 20 to 1. You can get Andy Reid to win Coach of the Year.
Coach of the Year. Yeah.
If you think Kansas City's going to win 15 games and go back to the Super Bowl for their third Super Bowl, which has never been done in a row, then that's you have to. If you're going to bet the Chiefs this year, you have to bet that they are going to be the best team in the NFL with a bullet, because otherwise there's no money to be made.
For sure.
They are as chalk gets, and the offense is better than it was last year. Like the Chiefs are going to be really good. Like their defense is probably better, and their offense is faster. I don't know what else is to say.
We already said Eagles. I like the Eagles money line.
I like the Packers money line just because, like I said, it's foreign territory. And you don't know what's going to happen. The under is where we leaned on that mostly, though.
Yeah, that's it. I'm going to swap that out because
I think it's just that foreign games are generally going to go under, and I think that's a good way to lean.
Well, time out real quick. I'm by myself. I got to let the dog out. Go ahead and start on Arizona Buffalo.
That's fine. I can talk. I'll talk in the. Let's see what games do we have here. Let's talk about a game that's not really that important that we can throw math out of. Man, I don't know. All these have a little up. All right, let's talk. I know we like talking about the NFC South, and when Smash comes back, we can talk. But Carolina versus New Orleans. This is a 4-point spread to New Orleans. No one in the NFC South should ever be favored by more than 3 points in its current iteration. There is none of these teams are good enough to win by margin. I moved to Carolina, New Orleans, just to say that Carolina is a -4 or a +4. Pick Carolina just because any NFC South bet that's more than 4 points is worth betting. They're all bad teams.
That's it. So I can see the Saints pulling off this division this year.
I heard the Saints' offensive line is horrendous, though.
But I don't know. The hard part with this
they're
game,
one of my bets this week. I'm on Carolina just because, like I said, They're both the NFC South. And is it
Do
Carolina?
I like just the under?
I mean, I don't know about that because both
I like the
defenses
under.
aren't great, but I'm going to bet the Panthers.
So
The Panthers can't be worse than they were last year.
dangerous high octane combo of Carr and Allen. I like this guy. He's funny. I like the under. I don't like the Panthers. Bryce Young, baby Bryce, is terrible and will always be terrible. Honestly, they were better off starting the redhead last year.
Andy Dalton.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
Adam Thielen wants Adam.
even Adam Thielen wants Andy Dalton back. Bryce is not a starting quarterback in the NFL. Also, you can count on Carr for at least one turnover. So on a side bet, maybe you want whatever the over is on turnovers for Carr. So I'm taking the under on this at 41.5. Like, I'm taking the under.
If you can find a book to parlay Derek Carr interceptions and the Saints under, like, let's go.
Oh yeah, all day. So back to Cardinals.
I didn't want to talk to the Bills without you.
No.
I like. Oh man, the Bills at 6.5 is really interesting because basically any good team playing a bad team last year, I was okay. Anything under 7. The problem is are the Bills reloading, or are the Bills still a contender?
I heard I read a report this morning. DeMar Hamlin is actually going to be starting at safety for them this weekend. So I'm a little nervous about a 6.5 spread on a team like this that is so.
And Gannon's not a bad coach.
No, Gannon's not a
bad coach. Trey McBride is a good player. There are good skill positions in Arizona, and Kyler Murray without Call of Duty can make things happen.
Pre-Call of Duty, Kyler Murray, sorry. Like, it, I don't know, man. I'm just nervous about 6.5, so I'd take it. I wish we could do a live look at him right now. It'd be like the Lilliputians from that fantasy book. And all the, like, very, very small people. Like, I don't know, man. I'm sorry. Bryce Young is baby Bryce. I don't know. It's the same thing with Kyler. I'll never believe in Kyler ever. Like,
Dan's like John Elway. If they're under 6'3", like, he wants nothing to do with them.
I wouldn't draft a quarterback.
He's got a type.
I wouldn't draft a single quarterback. Like I don't know, man. It's just, I don't believe that style of quarterback can make it in the NFL. I think it's extremely difficult. You have to be you basically, like, I don't know. Anyway, I don't like the Bills in this game to cover 6.5, but I do like them to win. So I'm going with them on the money line. What do you think?
And like Buffalo. So I have this game only as a 5-point difference because I'm a little down on Buffalo. So the spread says to pick Arizona. I don't know yet. 6.5 is exactly the number that I said.
Don't forget, the Cardinals got a lot of, like, turnovers last year too. So you have a turnover-prone quarterback in Josh Allen. I love the Bills. I'm not.
I just have a weird feeling the Bills are going to come back and win this game. It's going to be like when they played the Lions on Thanksgiving, and they're going to win by like 4.
Analytics based on QB height, and I love that. I don't like bet short versus tall. Oh my God. Imagine the over-under short versus tall. I love that. That'd be awesome.
Well, yeah, but there has to be a limit, right? Because, like, once you're like 6'4", it doesn't really matter anymore.
I'd say the dividing factor in the NFL probably is like 6'2". And like
when you think about that, like, running backs are all like 5'11" to 6'1". All receivers are like 5'11" to 6'4", unless you're Kelvin, and then that's an issue because then you get beat up too soon. Oh, man, I don't know. I'm
going money line with Bills. I don't love the spread. I don't think the Cardinals are a good football team, but they do get turnovers, and Josh Allen turns the ball over. I do think what you'll see out of the Bills this year. So
hand size is big because Kenny
got to grip that football.
Because Kenny had small hands.
Yeah, Kenny had the small hands. I think the Bills are going to debut a much better ground game than they have the past couple years. Josh Allen cannot lead this team in rushing again.
I
mean,
think
Can't happen.
now there has been talk that McDermott's going to take over play calling again, that's never a good sign.
I don't
I don't know.
but I think we're both aligned on the money line for this, right? Don't you?
I think the Bills' survivor pick is probably better than the Bengals' survivor pick, in my opinion, but that's the only way I'd go about this.
I hate this game because both of these are my surprise teams from our preseason special.
I love both teams. The truth of the matter, I mean, there's a lot of people that say that like Houston has essentially like changed 6 points from prior season based on this spread. So they went from being a +3 to a -3 against the Colts. Is that a bridge too far? I don't know.
This is where I'm going with it. I would say
if you're gonna do it, take the value.
Yep.
I mean, don't pay the juice for the 3 just to push on 3.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm getting 3.5, maybe I'll pay the juice, but I'm not gonna pay the juice just to push.
If I'm betting here, I'm betting the Colts money line. I think the Texans are the better football team, but Anthony Richardson is going to be coming off the bench going hard.
We got a man named Orange. I don't know what Orange is, but welcome to this. Welcome to the stream, Orange.
I doubt Kyler has big hands, Ryan. I mean, he's so. Hey, did you see that picture of him next to Aaron Judge?
He does not have big hands, dude. I'm telling you. And he's not even good. He's not even good at Call of Duty. That's the worst thing. Like, he streams online. I think he was streaming with Downtown Marquise Brown or someone on his team, and it just wasn't that impressive. So, again, I don't think he has big hands. I think Kyler Murray sucks. I think Gannon's a good coach. That's why, like, Arizona's been weird since Jake Plummer's been their quarterback, okay? Like Kurt Warner went there and couldn't win. Like, I don't know what is up with Arizona.
They did go to a Super Bowl with Kurt Warner, though. Don't forget that.
They lost.
Well, Pittsburgh Steelers had the best offensive line in football at the time. I mean, that's pretty
hard. And Ben Roethlisberger, who is an incredible quarterback for the playoffs.
All
right.
I like this game. Jaguars Dolphins is going to be an early telltale sign for both of these teams.
Man, but are you going to really give the VIG 10 cents to get 3.5 against the Jags? No, he hasn't. He's so excited for the new Call of Duty. Like, he's already
pumped for it. I didn't like.
Yeah,
you know what? Do I kind of like the over here? I kind of like the over, but I'm going with here.
In fairness, 300 points could be scored in this game.
Yeah, that's it. Like 60. This could be a college runaway game where it's like
60 to 30, just a 90,
like,
90 points.
I think this game is going to be a good.
Yeah, but not the new Call of Duty, Orange. You're talking one back. We're talking about the new. We're talking about the one that's in beta.
Right now, Kyler Murray has an advanced copy of it. I guarantee you.
He should have an amazing sponsorship from Call of Duty over all this. I mean, honestly,
where do you have this game? The Jacksonville and Miami.
My numbers. Let's see what the numbers make it. So if I'm looking, I make this a 4 spread to Miami. It's a 3.5. I mean, I got it right on.
You're right at Vegas. If you're gonna pick a team and go with the spread.
I mean, Miami's gonna win. They're gonna win by more than 3 points. They don't win by less.
That's it. Like, I don't think it's a field goal game. I think it's a touchdown game.
And you're getting plus money to take the Dolphins. I mean, I think Vegas is bagging you to pick the Jacksonville Jaguars.
They're kind of like baiting a little.
But in my opinion, I like I mean, I don't have a lean. If I lean Dolphins.
All right.
I love this one's easy.
Game.
Tennessee Titans, 1 + 160. Give it to me all day long.
Really?
What have the Bears done to be favored by 4?
What have the Titans done? What have the Titans done?
It doesn't matter. The Bears had the worst record in the NFL last year, other than the Carolina Panthers, and now they're favored by 4?
But the Bears were a tough out down the road last year. They made that trade at defense. Their defense was not bad. The Titans are a bad football team. They are a bad football team.
I would press 160 with your money.
Oh my God. I don't know how to bet this game. I'm not kidding.
Are you guys ready? Because it's math, Stone Cold.
There we go. Your Stone Cold lock right here, the titties. Let's go. Let's have it.
The Tennessee Titans are the Stone Cold lock.
This is called the Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and this is my Stone Cold lock of the century. I'm not allowed to say the name because someone copyrighted it.
I think this is where we diverge for this week. I got the Bears. I want the money line. I think that they eke out the first win for soon to be underperforming Caleb Williams, but they beat this because the Tennessee Titans might be the worst team in the NFL.
Caleb Williams tries to force the ball twice in his first two series. He tries to force it to Rome Odunze the first time, and then he goes, "No, I'm going to force it to DJ Moore the second time," and he throws 2 picks. Right off the bat, Titans, they go up 10-0, and then they end up winning the game 17-3.
Oh, no way. No way. That's a terrible narrative. I don't think so, man.
Ryan, who is from Chicago, said that he wouldn't lay 190 on Bears with anyone's money.
The Bears are going to be they're not going to be as good as how people are touting them right now, but the Bears are going to be better than I probably expect them to be. I could see them winning 7 games this season. That defense is no joke. Like, I'm sorry, man. The Titans are potentially the worst team in the NFL. They did nothing in the preseason, nothing, and they have no answers. They are just as slow and just as bad as they were last year with less talent. So
hold on.
I didn't like.
Let me pull up. I gotta pull up a depth chart now because this is making me upset. I think the Titans got legs, my friend.
With whom and where? To who?
First off, we have Will Levis, so let's just start there.
Will Levis is terrible. Marty wants the Dolphins.
Terrible.
We bet on the Dolphins already, Marty. We bet on the Dolphins. Right here.
You think the Dolphins are going to score 60 points?
Yeah, 60 points and win by more than a TD.
All right, I'm coming up on the screen here. I'm coming out of the booth.
Come out of the booth. Look at this roster. You tell me how this team is going to be better than the worst team in the NFL.
Hold on. All right, I'm sharing my screen. Tell me if the screen's being shared.
Oh my God, this is. I mean, you may as well just call this the Tennessee AIDS. Like, this is terrible.
Tony Pollard looked much better and much recovered this year.
He is a running back too, and so is Tajay Spears.
Tajay Spears is a fine running back. Calvin Ridley is going to be fantastic. DeAndre Hopkins is good. And Tyler Boyd was also very good last year. We have Chig. We have Chig Okonkwo, who is an underrated tight end.
I'm with Ryan. Put his comment up. I'm with Ryan. I like this guy. I'm the smash bets rolling with Ryan this week. Go. It makes me vomit. Go Bears. Whatever.
By the Flus.
Tennessee is.
I don't care about your new haircut. I don't care about Matt Eberflus's new haircut.
You need to consider that the Tennessee Titans are the worst team in football. You need to consider that.
I am so on the Bears under this year. The Bears.
I am too. I'm on the Bears under, but I'm on the under for the Titans.
The Bears got blown out by Blake Purdy. Okay. Done with the Bears.
So there's our head-to-head for the week, I suppose. All
right, let's move on for the Bears because all I'm going to say is I love the titties.
This is an interesting game, if only because it's going to tell us a lot about both teams off the bat. I like the Steelers
because I got to share my screen again because I have another share. I got to present here because I have my over-unders from last year or from this year. Sorry, let me present again.
You're going to take the Steelers under all day?
Oh, I mean, the Steelers under is all over the place, but I mean, the Steelers at 3.5, like Mike Tomlin at 3.5. Are you kidding me?
I want the money line with it. Yeah.
All right. So if I'm looking at Atlanta is 100% my most bet on because I have Atlanta at 11.5 wins.
You have Atlanta at 11.5? So you
And I
think
don't
they're
even
going to win that? You think they're going to win the NFC South then?
They have to win the NFC South.
So why don't you just put your bet on their head coach to be coach of the year?
That's possible too. I mean, that is one of the bets I already have. So you already read my mind. But so I can't bet Pittsburgh because I think Atlanta's going to win 11 games. But if I was betting the individual game, I would bet Pittsburgh because if you bet anything other than Tomlin at plus 3.5, you are a dumb person.
I like that. I like him with the money line, especially plus 142 because I think they win this game. It'll be close, but it's going to come down to two things. The Steelers still play defense. You know, as long as they have TJ Watt.
TJ Watt is still playing for
He's still playing,
for
and he's playing damn well. Like, and the Falcons just are an underperforming team. Now,
that
who
being
knows?
said, if
Kirk
you're playing
Cousins
best ball,
yeah.
If you're playing best ball, I love the Atlanta Falcons. Because Bijan could be the best running back in the NFL. Drake London could be the best receiver in the NFL. And Kyle Pitts could be the best tight end in the NFL.
And
They
Kirk
all
Cousins
have
could be
the
comeback
talent.
player of the year. Like all that. I mean, you're not wrong about any of it. I think that the Steelers are going to surprise people in an AFC North that is tight. And when things are tight, I like to bet on the coach.
If
And
anyone
Mike
comes out of
Tomlin-
the NFC North or the AFC North with more than 10 wins, I'm going to be surprised, man. And
Yeah.
I know that's tough, and I know that all those teams are great, but that's the problem. All the teams are great.
I like
Or
Ryan.
have good coach. Or
I
have
need
good
to have this
coaching.
Ryan guy on here because he thinks a lot like me.
Ryan
Defense
is
does
one
travel.
100%. I agree.
Yep.
And
We've
Ryan
got
already he has an open
Giants.
invite. He's
I
dealing
like
with
the-
in-laws right now.
I like the under with the Giants Vikings.
I
You
like
dispute
when
that at all?
I don't want to bet it. I want Malik Neighbors over or anytime touchdown. I want Malik Neighbors with over 5 receptions, and I want Malik Neighbors with over 50 yards. Malik Neighbors is going to get almost 40% of the receiving targets
You
from the
think they're just
Giants.
gonna pound it?
They're gonna feed Malik Neighbors more than an NCAA Ultimate Team that only has Malik Neighbors. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know.
Oh man, like Ryan, throw out the record books. Yeah, I want the over on that. I don't care what number you mention. I want the over. Here, okay, and you know that I think that the Denver Broncos could surprise some people this year.
Man,
What if Bo
you're
Nix-
talking about a rookie going into Seattle.
I don't think they'll win, but I like them to cover. They have the Denver
How
Broncos.
did that work
still
for
have
Bo
a top
Nix in the
defense.
title game? How did that work for Bo Nix in the title game?
Listen, they cover because they have a great defense, and I don't think they're going to have a game plan in where they're going to turn over the ball. This
How
is the
can
kind
you
of game.
afford defense
Actually,
when Patrick
this is the-
Surtain just got paid $200 million almost.
he deserves it. He's the only lockdown corner in the NFL. Like,
Sauce Gardner has a comment against that, but okay.
I think that he's better than Sauce personally. But
Ooh.
you know what? You know what he didn't do? He didn't give up last year like Sauce did. How about that? I think that the Broncos cover.
So Ryan has a good point too, because I like both these teams a lot. I think Seattle's always sneaky, and as a Lions fan, I will say that because Seattle always has
Beats the
ruined
Lions
our.
somehow.
Yeah, Seattle's tough.
The different Seattle, but I like the Broncos to cover, and I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow eke out a win, even though it's at Seattle.
But that's not too bad of a distance for Denver either. They're not
No,
traveling
that's not.
all that
It's.
far.
I just mean this that it's tough to win in Seattle. Everybody
Let's
knows
see.
that.
What do I got Denver? What do I got this game at? I got it at 4. I lean Denver. So you're with me. I lean Denver just because Seattle generally doesn't win by big margin.
That's what I'm saying. So Seattle wins this by a field goal. I got like I kind of got like a 21-18 in my head type of scenario.
I like that.
It's going to be closer than people think just because of how good the Denver defense will be this year. And Seattle, it plays games tight. Every game they play is tight. So, yeah.
This game is so hard. I mean,
I
honestly,
don't
I
even
think
know what to do. That's it.
You're talking about Antonio Pierce versus Jim Harbaugh. The only thing to bet is the under.
I think I like this. The under could be 35, and I'd probably still be betting it.
I would bet honestly. I would bet the under, and I would bet the Las Vegas Raiders, and I would pay a little bit juice to get 3.5 because this is gonna. I think the Chargers win this, but I don't think the Raiders lose by less than a field goal.
I think the only thing that could be the
The LA
equalizer.
Chargers' number one receiver is Lad McConkey.
Well, yeah. So think about this for a second. If you're just betting talent, right? Ignore coaches for a second, although I think both coaches are good coaches. If you're just betting talent, the talent is on the Raiders side, not on the Chargers side.
Really?
Well, they have a top 5 receiver.
But
And
like the Chargers still have like some of the most talented defensive players in the NFL.
I don't know. They were really bad
Also,
last year down the stretch.
Live the high life, the
Yeah.
Taylor Heineke life. Yeah,
I love it. Like, I love the fact that Minshew's starting for the Raiders. I think that he could easily lead the league in passing yards, depending on how they go about stuff. But I like the under because you got two teams that struggle to score, and it is basically
It's a home game for the Raiders. It is a home game for the Raiders.
Yeah.
That's another
This
thing.
game,
If you're handicapping, and just so anyone knows, if you're handicapping the Chargers or the Rams at home, take away home field advantage. It
take
doesn't
away home
exist.
field advantage. Right away.
Matt
You
Stafford's
mentioned
had
that
to
before,
run
but
multiple silent counts at his own stadium before.
yeah. With Cowboys Browns, I don't know how the Browns are favored in this.
They're at home. Their defense is incredible. I'm not going to bet this game again. I'm on the unders all the way.
I hate Dallas. But the Browns. So last year, and I was high on them last year. You know that.
Is it
Last
weird
year-
that I would bet Cleveland if Deshaun wasn't starting?
That's what I'm saying. Deshaun Watson is not. He's not anything, and I think that easily you have a situation where the Dallas Cowboys come in and potentially exploit a Cleveland team that is not that good. They're just not that good.
Ryan says that the take that Gardner Minshew is going to lead the league in passing.
I love
yards
it. I said I wouldn't be surprised. I said I wouldn't
is
be
so
surprised.
hot that it's contributing to global warming.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't blow me out of the water. Let's put it that
Oh
way.
my god.
Yeah. So you're going just with the Browns money line here?
I'm not gonna go. I'm not touching the Browns because I don't trust.
You're not
Deshaun.
trusting it? Dallas always is off to a hot start.
Mom, I don't want to lose to the Browns. Joe Burrow's never beaten the Browns, and they're historically the worst franchise in NFL history.
That poor girl.
She
Just
tried,
always
man.
play her every week.
I would honestly, again, because I think I've picked all the lowest totals to go under, but again, under. Dak Prescott sucks. CeeDee Lamb's been oft injured and has been slow in the preseason. I think it takes him a game to get heated up. And Cleveland's defense might just be mean enough to stop anyone.
Ryan, actually, in the preseason special, I did bet that Minshew would be comeback player of the year, and I think he's 18-1.
You can't bet Minshew comeback player of the year though because he wasn't hurt.
And they let you. I did it.
Yes, but I'm telling you, he can't win because he wasn't hurt last year.
You don't know?
Yes, I do know. They made that rule. It was the DeMar Hamlin rule.
He was hurt for 3 weeks last year.
Can't come back from being bad anymore. Okay.
Commanders Bucks is a trash game from two trash
Give me
teams.
the commies. Give
Oh
me
my
the
God.
commies.
I said this last year. I'm not betting Washington ever again. I'm never betting Washington.
Let's bring the spread up again because I have Washington. Okay, so I have the difference. Oh, so I definitely have Tampa Bay to win this from a numbers perspective. But man, Washington.
Stay away from it. It's poison. This is a bad punt. This is a bad punt all day.
I think I'm not going to bet this straight up. I'm going to bet this Washington to win. I'm betting the over, and I'm betting Jalen Daniels 200 passing, 100 rushing, and a tutty. This is the Jalen Daniels coming out game.
I wouldn't pay my worst enemy to watch this game. This is going to be a terrible football game, no matter what happens.
Ryan says commies or nothing, baby. Ryan is a Commanders fan. Let's go.
Oh, and I'm like, it matters what, like, I feel like if I rolled the die right now and I said that commies were odd and Bucks were even, I would just bet whatever came out on it. That's how, like, I did. Two really bad football teams. The Buccaneers are not a good football team. They're not. I'm sorry, people. They're not. They won their division last year. Big deal. I don't care. Baker Mayfield is not a good quarterback and never will be. Like,
this is how excited I am for the Washington this year.
Yes, sir. You know what it is? Oh, big party parties. Big party parties. Yes, sir.
Taylor Heinicke will forever be a Dan Snyder Washington Redskin.
oh my gosh. I take it. If I had to do anything here, it'd be the under. But we all know here. We all know where. And I'm even going with the spread.
Take the alternate spreads, baby. Take it all the way up to 10.
I think 6.5, like, easily. I like it.
Daniel Goff over 2 touchdowns. Mon St. Brown over 8 receptions and over 80 yards. And anytime tutty for Jameson Williams, and anytime tutty for Singletary, and an anytime tutty for Gibbs.
We talked about the Jets and Niners earlier. I think the Jets are going to surprise the Niners. That defense is too good, and I'm sorry. I mean, the defense is just too good. Like, I don't think that the Jets will be as good as people think they are, but I do think they're good enough to knock off an unprepared Niners team coming out of the gate.
I have this as an even game, and I think the drama that existed in Niners camp versus the drama that dissipated in the New York Jets camp, I think the Jets come out as a tighter team. Aaron Rodgers is from California. The West Coast is not going to affect him whatsoever. And I think, and I'm sorry, Sturdy, the Jets are the big bet here. They just are. They're getting points regardless. And I'm going to get plus money to bet on them to win a game with Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback, with the skill positions at Garrett Wilson. Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson might be the 2 most talented players in the NFL, not named Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talent on their team, and it just Ryan, you said
player of the year. The D tackle for them, defensive player of the year, I think is still a very big option.
Oh, what's his name?
Williamson.
Yeah. So yeah, I like it. Let's see. Our odds are at an astronomical number, like always.
Put that big dollar down, big dog.
There we go. My 15 pick parlay of the week. $1 would net me $16,485. So I'll see you $16,000 richer next week.
Spread's the way to go. Just gotta know how to bet it.
It's going to be a lot.
And with that, we are definitely at our time because we're about to start a fantasy draft. So
1 second, Ryan, I did pull it one time. I pulled it at $180. I pulled it one time at $180.
Otherwise, no. We have never win 16-0.
No,
we've tried.
I got it real close. I went 14-2 one time. I went 14-2.
And with that, like I said, we got a fantasy draft starting with the Scene Snobs. So we're gonna let you go. Like, subscribe, smash the like
button. We'll be back next Wednesday. Yep. Same smash time.
Same bat channel. And like I said, the Scene Snobs got a million things going on. It's not all sports related, but we know you guys also like movies. We know you also like entertainment news, and all those things come from this channel. So with that, we're going to let you go. And thank you so much for joining. See you later.